Good morning. It's Wednesday, January the 11th. Yeah. So I had said last week how I was going to have different focuses during the month, and I'd have a few different things I'd show you and talk about, and that one of the things that I'd show would be like how to make things or things that I'm proficient at. So I wanted to kind of talk today about some of my goals. Like I talked last week about what my goals are for the year as far as producing things. And one of the things I'd said was I wanted to make 24 hats and 12 scarves for the year. So I want to show you how I'm going to do that in a way that will actually get it done. I'm doing knitting, but I'm doing what's known as machine knitting and loom knitting. So let me kind of show you the loom knit first. So this is a loom knit hat, and I'm going to make a machine knit scarf that goes with it. It's not a bad hat. It's a lightweight hat, but it's warm. I have several of them myself. I like to wear these guys. And you make them on hoops like this. And it's actually, you don't have to have any flippin' talent whatsoever to make a hat on this. Anybody can make a hat on this. It's really very, very simple. All you do is you take your loom. I like to use a slip knot to start with, but a lot of people don't. All you got to do is put that on there, go around every one of these pegs, because that's exciting. I hope this is all catching on here. Okay. So these looms, they come in different sizes. Usually you can buy them in like a 4-pack. And this is the next largest size round in the 4-pack, so you can kind of see how big it is. And this is pretty good for an adult hat. It should fit just snugly enough, but not so loose nor so snug. I've tried on the largest loom to make adult hats, and they're really they're big and floppy. They don't fit very well. They fall down over my eyes. Okay, so once you've done a single round on there, you want to kind of tie off. I don't normally have such an awkward time of it. But you want to tie it off on this little front peg here, and then you push everybody down one. Okay. After you push everybody down one, then you do another round. I'll just do it real quick because I'm not going to actually make a hat with this. So you come through, you do your round again. So let's pretend I've gone all the way around. Okay. And then they give you these handy little hook guys. Sometimes if you get a cheaper kit, that may be all you get, but some of the more deluxe ones, they have picks on the end too. So then what you would do is you would go through, and there's like little troughs in each of these pins right here. You grab the bottom loop, put it up over the top loop. You do that all the way around, and then you push this loop down like we did before and go around again. When you're all done, then you take like a tapestry needle, and you thread the you cut enough yarn to go around one more time. You take the tapestry needle, and you would take it, like pretending this were the needle, you would take it up from the bottom, through, release that, and then pull your needle all the way through, and that holds off that last little stitch. And then you kind of cinch it down so that you have a cinched down top like this. Now if you wanted to do, like this has a brim on it, if you wanted to do a brim, what I do for an adult hat is I do 20 rows, and then I bring the bottom row up as though it were a loop around. Bring the bottom row up, and then I stitch over it, and then I go on my loop around and I do another 25 rows, and then I do the cinch off, and the hat is done. I can do a hat, if I just sit down and focus on the hat, I can do a hat in about 2, maybe 3 hours tops, if I'm not really focusing too hard. So that's loom knitting, and like I said, you can do hats really quickly that way. The machine knit, all it does is it makes a tube, and I can do hats with that too. This one I did striping, and I did it kind of the same way with the brim, and you do it the same way with like the tie off on the top. So you got kind of the little tie off. There's my string. I didn't tuck it very well. And you could change your colors, as you can see that I have tie-ins here. But I don't like the hats from the machine knit quite as well because they're a little bit snugger. I don't feel like they stretch as much. They're more dense, I mean, you can see that the knit is much tighter in here than it is in this one. That's because this is a 36 stitch all the way around. This one is 44 on the machine. But the nice thing is you can also do scarves with this. And I'll show you one that I made. This is a 1 skein of yarn long scarf, and when I double it, it comes almost to the ground again. But you can see how nice it is. That's doubled up like that. It's nice and thick. And then I always put a fun little fringe on the end of it because it's a scarf. You know, you should have a fun little fringe. And those are really easy to make too. These are like TV makers. You don't even have to watch what you're doing really for the most part. But you get like a knitting machine kind of like this. This is a hand crank. And what you do is you load your machine, and then all you have to do is crank, and it'll make the tube for you. It's real easy that way. Hi, Laura.
Good morning.
Doing a video quick.
I know, I figured that.
So I will sit here and I will do this cranking until this thing is all done. And it'll be all done when I run out of yarn. That's what I'm going to run out of. And it'll be striped. It'll match this hat that I made. And that will be my very first set of hat and scarf. And that makes the start of my goals right there. So yeah, if you have any questions about it, put it in the comments. I do answer questions. And I'll bring you something new next week. Have a good one.